Good morning, everyone. We are going to be doing perimeter and area of parallelograms. We're going to do the trapezoids tomorrow, okay? So today is just going to be parallelogram. So your squares, your rectangles, and your parallelogram, okay? So go ahead and press pause to write down those two definitions, and then press play when you're ready. All right, so what is perimeter? Perimeter is the distance around a 2D figure, okay? So to find the perimeter pretty much of any figure or shape, or any figure, you're just gonna go ahead and add everything going around it. No matter how many sides it has, you add all the sides together. And that's how you find the perimeter. Now, if it's a word problem, some of the key words that they will use to describe perimeter would be fence. If you're going to fence something, fence just goes around your yard, so that's perimeter. Border, if I'm going to put a border around my room, that is perimeter. Outline, if I'm going to outline something, that is also means I just need to find the perimeter, okay? So make sure you look for those keywords when you're doing your word problems. Next is area. Area is the amount of space inside a two-dimensional figure, okay? So anything that takes up space is going to be your area. It's the inside, okay? Perimeter is the outside. Area is the inside, okay? So to figure out if it's a area problem, some of the words they can use is the word inside. Usually if you paint a wall, that's trying to find the area. They like to tile the floor. They like to use that question. So if you're going to tile the floor, that also is area. If you're going to plant some soil or some grass or something like that, that's also going to be area because you are taking up the space inside of a shape, okay, or figure. All right. So I'm going to go over the formula with you. Okay. So the first one we have, go ahead and press pause. Copy that down. The first one for perimeter is going to be our rectangle or parallelogram. Okay. I put these together because they're pretty much the same thing. All right. So here's my rectangle. Remember, it's a quadrilateral that has opposite sides equal and 4 right angles, okay? And then we also have the parallelogram, which has 2 pairs of parallel sides and opposite sides are equal, but no right angles. So to find the perimeter here, I could just go around the entire shape and add them up, okay? But because opposite sides are equal, I can do 2 times one side plus 2 times the other side, okay? And that's what all this means. And I can also add the length and the width, okay? The length and the width, and then go ahead and multiply that by 2, all right? But if you like to play it safe, just go around the shape. Go around the shape and add those numbers, those 4 numbers you'll get. And that's how you'll find the perimeter, okay? Now let's do the square. To find the perimeter of a square, same thing. Go around that square and add the 4 sides. Now, what makes a square so special is that all the sides are equal. So, yeah, I can go around and do side plus side plus side plus side. But if all the sides are the same, I can just take one of the sides and multiply it by 4. And that'll give me the perimeter of the outside. Okay? So always pause whenever you need to. Okay? Then let's talk about area. Okay? So, and over here, guys, I just wrote down right there formulas. Okay? So let's talk about the rectangle or parallelogram. Okay? On your star chart, you will be given the parallelogram formula. Okay? Not the rectangle. So kind of know that a rectangle, a square is also a parallelogram. So you can use that for all of them. Okay? Now, the formula given to you on your star chart is A equals B times H, okay? So you're not going to see L and W. It means the exact same thing. We just use B and H at this level, okay? So B stands for the base or the length, and H is the height or the width, okay? And we do that because on a parallelogram, I don't really want the width here. I need the height, okay? And a height is actually perpendicular to the base. So that's how we know what the height is, okay? So base times height for rectangle and parallelogram, okay? And also your square, okay? So that goes into the next one. The square is also base times height, but remember, a square is special because all four sides are equal. So I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can write a square formula, because sometimes they will ask you a basic question: which of the following formulas could be used to find the area of a square? I can use base times height. That's an answer. I can also, okay, right here. I can also do side times side, okay, side times side. I can also do, since the sides are the exact same number, side squared, or side to the second power. So these are three different ways that you can actually write the square formula for area, okay? And I have seen a question where they've said, which of the following formulas can be used to find the area of a square? A was base times height. B could be side times side. C is side squared. D is all the above. The answer is D. All the above can be used, okay? So that's just knowing what's going on. All right. Then over here, I just reminded you what I said. The base and height will be at the 90-degree angle, okay? And that's how I use base and height. So the base and then the height. The height is perpendicular. There's that 90 degree. It's perpendicular from wherever the base is at. And this is going to help you whenever we do parallelograms, okay? Rectangles and squares are easy because they are built from 90-degree angles. They're all angles are 90 degrees. But if you look at the parallelogram, there's no 90-degree angle in there. So when you see base times height, you're looking for the base and then the perpendicular line to it, not the slant. I need the perpendicular line, okay, that creates that 90 degree. You're going to see what I mean in the examples here, okay? So I just have a few examples, one of each shape, okay? Let's go ahead and draw the square out, okay? So go ahead and pause it if you need to do square. And then you can do rectangle after you do the square, okay? That way you see how much space you actually take up. All right, so you drew it down. Let's go ahead and work it out. So here's my square, all right? And I know it's a square because it has four sides. All four sides are equal, and I have four right angles, okay? So they're just going to give you one number. I don't have to write all four numbers, all right? So let's first find the perimeter. To find the perimeter of a square, I can do side times plus side plus side plus side. Or I'm going to do the shortcut and just do 4 times S. 4 times S. So make sure you do that little curl at the bottom. That way you know it's an S and not a 5. Okay? Now to find perimeter, I have 4 sides. That's where we're multiplying by 4. Times, well, what's the length of the side? It's 3. So then 4 times 3 is 12, and I'm in meters, so I put an M right there. 12 meters. And you can check to see the other way. If I did 3 plus 3, that's 6. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. So either way will get you there, okay? So that's perimeter. Area. Always write your formula down first, guys. The formula is kind of like your answer key, okay? It's gonna tell you exactly what to do. Your job is just to put the numbers in and then follow the math. Follow the math, do the order of operations, okay? So I'm gonna go up to area. Here's area. It's a square. I can use base times height, side times side, side squared. I'm just gonna use base times height because that's pretty much what's gonna be on your formula chart. It's not gonna say square or rectangle. It's just gonna say parallelogram. So I'm just gonna use base times height for right now, okay? Now we just have to plug it in. Now the base and height is found at the 90-degree angle. So here's the 90-degree angle at the bottom. The base is 3 because all sides are the same. And the height, here's the height at the 90 degree, is also 3. Now be careful with the 3's. A lot of students, when they do 3 times 3, they want to put 6 automatically. It's not 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Now your units are going to be different. If you looked over here, it was just meters. But here, since I'm actually multiplying a side times another side, my meters are also going to be squared. Because what I'm really doing is doing 3 meters times 3 meters, which gives me 3 times 3 is 9. Meters times meters is meters squared. Okay, so 9 meters squared, r to the second power. And this one is just single because I'm really adding them. Yes, I'm multiplying by 4, but I'm just multiplying by the number 4. I'm doing 4 times 3 meters. It's only 1 meter, so I just bring it down. Okay, so the perimeter here is 12. So if I want to build a fence, I need to make sure I have 12 meters of fencing. And then if I want to plant some soil, I need to make sure I have 9 square meters of material. Okay, good, not too bad. Let's go into the rectangle. Okay, here's my rectangle. So go ahead and draw it if you need to. Press pause and press play when you're ready. And what makes it a rectangle? It's a parallelogram, but also it has 4 right angles and opposite sides are equal. Not all the sides are equal, but opposite. So these two are 10 and these two are 4. Okay. So if I want to find the perimeter of a rectangle, I have a lot to choose from. I think most students like to do this one. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that one. And you are not given any perimeter formulas, guys, on the star chart at all. So you need to either know it or just know the fact that you need to add all around, okay? Because you are not going to be given this formula. So this is just from memorization. I'm going to take the length is 10, and I'm multiplying it by 2 because remember the top is 10 and the bottom is 10. That's why I'm multiplying it by 2. And the same thing with the width. I have 2 4s because this one's 4, which means this one is also 4. Order of operations says to do parentheses, exponents. Multiplication comes before addition. So 2 times 10 is 20, and 2 times 4 is 8. Okay? And then you add them together. Gives you 28 centimeters, cm for centimeters, and the units stay single units, not squared. Okay? If you wanted to add the round, that's fine. You would do 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 plus 10 is 24. 24 plus 4 is 48. Is 28, sorry. So you see, you get the same answer. Same answer. So it just depends on how you like to do it. Okay. Now we'll do the area of the rectangle. Again, on your star chart, it's not going to say rectangle, it's going to say parallelogram. So area equals base times height. So let's look for the base. Here's the base. And the height is going to be found at the 90 degrees. So luckily, any corner you have, okay? So the base here, remember the top is the same as the bottom. The base is 10. And the height is connected to the base. It's right there with the 4. And 10 centimeters times 4 centimeters gives you 40 centimeters squared. Don't forget the squared, okay? And there you're just multiplying the base times the height or the length times the width, however you want to look at it. Okay, they mean the same thing. All right, let me give you the last one here. Go ahead and press pause and draw out that parallelogram. And press play when you're ready. Okay, so perimeter. We are going around the shape. Okay, so if you remember parallelograms, opposite sides are equal. So 20 is here, 20 is there. Okay, 23 is here, 23 is there. So I can do, or I can go around. Here's 20. This is where I have students highlight, plus 23, plus this one's 20 also, and then 23 again. So I just went around it. Okay, if you want to play it safe and do it that way, perfectly fine. You'll get the same answer. I'm going to go ahead and add these together. 20 plus 23 is 43. I might as well do these two. That's going to be the same thing of 43. 86 feet. Okay. Now notice I did not do that 21. The 21 is inside. I don't want the number inside when I do perimeter. I want the numbers going on the outside. And notice I never touch that dotted line. That dotted line's for something else. Okay. The dotted line is for our area. So write the formula down, okay? Now remember what I told you, base and height. You find the height at the perpendicular line of the base, so at the 90, okay? So if you look here, I don't have any 90-degree angles like I did on the square or on the rectangle, okay? So that's why they put this dotted line right here, okay? That's where you're gonna find the base and the height, all right? I like to call this guy, he sits on the chair, okay? That is Harry. He's gonna show you the height and the base, okay? So the base is at his feet. So this is the base because that's where that 90-degree angle is gonna touch, okay? And remember, opposite sides are equal. So the base is gonna be 20 because that's what is at his feet. Oops, 20. And then the height is gonna be where that 90-degree angle is at. And if you look, it's right here. It's this line right here. The dotted line is perpendicular to the base. And that number is 21. Okay, so the base is 20. The height of Harry's back here is 21. So pretty much wherever he sits down, he's going to show you the bottom and the height, the base and the height. Okay, so we're multiplying 21 times 20. I'm not doing the 23 because the 23 is slanted. I don't want that slanted line. I need a nice straight line, okay? So now I'm gonna go ahead and multiply. That'll be 420. We're in feet, so feet squared. Now I know in the Google Forms, it's hard to put the squared in there. You need to have a certain program. It's called Equatio. But if you don't get it, if you're on your iPad and stuff like that, that's fine. You're just going to put the numbers, okay? Just put the numbers in your answer form on Google Form. That way there's no confusion, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and do some tried outs. All right, you're pretty much just doing base times height. If you notice, they're all the same for area. And perimeter, you're just going around the four sides and adding them, all right? But be careful with the parallelogram. You're doing the base and height there with the 90-degree angle, okay? So I'm going to give you one of each shape, press pause, and go ahead and find the perimeter and the area of each figure here, and then press play and we'll check your work. All right, so let's see how you do in the perimeter. Perimeter, we're doing this right here, okay, the actual figure here. So it's going to be 10 plus this side here. That's over there, dotted line. That means it's not part of the figure, okay? So that's going to be 14, 10 again, and 14. Let's see what you got. You get 24 plus 24, which gave you 48 centimeters. Okay, y'all get 48 centimeters in that first one? If not, be careful. This over here is not part of this shape, okay? It's not part of it. That's why it's dotted lines, okay? Now let's check your area. The formula is base times height. If you remember for base and height, I'm looking for that 90 degree, okay? So here's my 90 degree. There is Mr. Harry. His feet touch this line right here, which is the 10. His height is over here, that's an 8. So it's gonna be a 10 by 8. And I showed you this way because sometimes they can put this outside the parallelogram. Sometimes they'll put it inside. Okay, that way you can see it means the same thing. All right, sometimes they put it out, sometimes they put it in. Depends on where they want to put it. So then 10 times 8 is 80 centimeters squared. Okay, so check your work on that one. See what happened. It might have been the numbers been off, okay? Let's keep on going. So to find the perimeter of this one, I'm going to do 2 times the length. That's 2 times the width. You should have done 2 times 6 and then 2 times 3, or you could have just added around, but you're going to see you get the same answer. That gives me 12. That gives me 6. So for the perimeter on this rectangle, you should have got 18 feet. Okay, 18 feet. So check your work there. And for the area, you should have done base times height. Luckily, a rectangle is nothing but right angles, so the base is going to be 6, and the height is 3. So it's a 6 by 3. Those are the dimensions. 6 times 3 is 18 feet squared. 18 feet squared. Okay. Doing good so far? Okay, maybe just this one we have to double check, okay? These two, let's hopefully did well. This one's going to be 4 sides. Since they're all the same, I just do 4 times this. So 4 times 2, because all of this is the same, will give me 8 inches. 8 inches. And then the formula for the area of a square could be just be base times height. And again, we have right angles, so the base is 2 and the height is 2. They're both the same. So I could have done 2 squared, same thing. 2 times 2 is 4 inches squared. Just like that. Okay? Hopefully you did well. If you have any questions on this, guys, just make sure you come by the Google Meets and I can help you out. All right? All right, I'll see you tomorrow.